The motion be agreed to, and I call the member for Higgins.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and I rise to support the wonderful motion from the member for Lindsay, and particularly to take note of the $1.5 billion of the Modern Manufacturing Initiative, which will see the government strategically invest in projects that help manufacturers scale up and create jobs. Because, Madam Deputy Speaker, in this post-COVID period, we have an opportunity to pivot as a country to the jobs of the future. And these modern manufacturing priorities include 6, which are resources, technology and critical minerals processing, food and beverage, medical products, recycling and clean energy, defence, and of course the very exciting space. Madam Deputy Speaker, we recently saw NASA's Perseverance land on Mars. This mission was tasked with answering the question of whether life ever existed on a planet other than Earth. Perched on the arm of the robotic rover is a key tool called Pixel. It takes up close images of scanned areas with X-rays, looking for chemical signatures of microbial life in 3 billion-year-old rocks. Incredible to think about it. The Pilbara Crater, more than 1,200 kilometres north of Perth in Western Australia, is one of the few places on Earth where it is still possible to find parts of the crust of the Earth the same age as the rocks on Mars. And that's where some very talented Australian scientists come in, Madam Deputy Speaker. While Dr Abigail Orwood's team has been working on Pixel, she's an Australian scientist, engineers at JPL and the Queensland University of Technology have been building software to crunch the data as it comes down from Mars. It will then be Dr David Flannery's job to guide the team of scientists on the mission, where to go and which samples to take. And the work doesn't stop there. 90 Mars days after the rover lands, a team of 500 scientists in JPL and the QUT will analyse data around the clock now and until at least April 2023. Madam Deputy Speaker, the morning Perseverance landed on Mars, backed by Australian scientists and technology, also marked the time the Morrison government made a big announcement about Australia's own space future. And I was very proud that at the time I was on a delegation to the Canberra Deep Space Communication Complex as part of the Parliamentary Science Committee inquiry into space. Real-time data being beamed down from Mars as we were there. Incredibly, this mission was on time and on target after many months of planning, years of planning, but also months of the mission. It was incredible to see that it landed within the target it was supposed to, literally on time. They predicted that many months before. Madam Deputy Speaker, the Moon to Mars initiative was launched as part of the new partnership on future space cooperation between the Australian Space Agency and NASA, backed by a $150 million investment into Australian businesses and researchers to join this endeavour. The Moon to Mars initiative is a 5-year program that has 3 integrated elements. Firstly, the supply chain program, secondly, the demonstrator program, and thirdly, the Trailblazer program, which showcased the best of Australian innovation and capability. Madam Deputy Speaker, to help guide these space projects, the Morrison government will be backing in space manufacturing with a space manufacturing priority roadmap, which will ensure many more missions and global opportunities happen now and into the future, bringing more Australians into the space industry to compete in what is now a global market, making it possible to commercialise new products and integrate them into global supply chains. Madam Deputy Speaker, as part of our parliamentary delegation, I was also delighted to meet the new Australian Space Agency head, Enrico Palermo, and I wish him well in his new role ahead. He has a dynamic and innovative approach to what is an expanding role for Australia in the area of space. Mr Palermo is bringing with him strong skills, experience and global connections, which will greatly serve our Australian Space Agency to scale up on a global stage. As we know, the agency itself has been tasked to grow the space industry to $12 billion and, in part, create a further 20,000 jobs by 2030. Madam Deputy Speaker, the Morrison government is continuing its investment in our growing space sector because we see the value in this. It's a highly innovative and inspirational sector which is providing the jobs of the future. That's why the Morrison government has organised Australia's unique modern manufacturing opportunities to ensure Australia is not left behind. We have the funding, the roadmaps, the strategies to grow the sector, provide Australian companies the opportunity to expand and compete on a global scale. These opportunities are vast and ready for liftoff. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.